Okay? Now this is a split between S and Z, sort of an SZ sound. Now what I like to do on this air exercise to help prepare my mind is to split myself down the middle. It occurred to me that we're actually two halves becoming one. Okay? We've got two arms, we've got two legs, we've got two ears, two eyes, two vocal cords. Okay? So if you split yourself down the center, what you're doing is you're becoming aware of the fact that we've got these two vibrating membranes that are approximating towards the center of the larynx. And at the center of that larynx is the air as it passes up over them. So we're actually two halves of one sound. We're two becoming one. And right at the point where the air blows over the tip of the tongue, where that air is passing out of the body, is where that sound finally leaves the body. And that's the center of our voice. And we want to become more aware of the entire body as it's creating sound. So with this air exercise and mind exercise combined, we can do that. Here you go. On the notes or try and force yourself to make these pitches. One of the things I discovered by splitting myself down the center was that I was actually grabbing with one half of my larynx, and part of my vocal cords were paralyzed as a result. They weren't freely vibrating. And when I split myself down the middle with this exercise, my range grew by about 3 or 4 notes, because all of a sudden I realized, hey, I'm holding on this side. So I let that go, and as a result, I got more from my voice by doing that. So it's a real helpful mental exercise to check out where it is that you might be holding your shoulders, your arms, your legs, and your throat, and let that tension go and get centered with what you're doing when you're singing. So here we go again. Again, remember to relax, release, and let go as you come down into the lower area of the voice, and also as you go up higher. Okay, here we go. And breathe. And breathe. Good. And breathe. And breathe. And breathe. Right now, let's go on to a breath and singing coordination exercise. So get that floor space that we talked about and the book, and Courtney's going to help me demonstrate it for all of you at home. We want to lay down on the floor, flat on our backs. If you have a low back problem, feel free to keep your knees up. But put the book on the lower part of the belly. Right down there by the belly button, okay? Right down there underneath that curl of fat that all of us can never seem to get rid of, where that little wrinkle is underneath the tummy. That's where the lower part of the diaphragm is, okay? Again, it's attached at the base of the sternum, goes up underneath the lungs and right on down to the lower part of the spine, just above the pelvis. So as we take a breath in, the internal organs move out of the way. Now, if you're not moving those internal organs out of the way, the book isn't going to move, right? So that's why we put the book on the belly. The second thing that we want to do while we're doing this exercise is to take an ah breath in. We're going to go, okay? Now, as you take an ah breath in, what you're doing is you're experiencing the coolness of the air outside of the body as it comes into the warmth of the body on the inside. So you can actually feel the air as it touches the mouth, right on down the larynx, down through the windpipe, and goes in and fills the lungs. You can get a greater sense of awareness of the lungs as they expand and fill with air. So we want to take an ah breath in as we do this breathing. Again, that goes like that. Now, as you're taking that ah breath in and you're feeling the chest expand, we're going to start to make pitches. And we're going to do those pitches by going da, da. Now, what I've done is I've taken the tip of the tongue and I've touched it against the roof of the mouth. These are all little indicators for you to become aware of the areas of the body that help you to create sound. Right there where the tip of the tongue touches the roof of the mouth is an area of the voice that I call the shower of the voice. That's the last place where the sound leaves the body before it actually comes out into the open. And it's the place at which a lot of the sound is resonated. It bounces off that hard palate just above the upper teeth. So real gently now, we're going to do a breathing and singing. Stay right there, Courtney. We're going to do a breathing and singing coordination exercise. We're going to go da. Now as you take an ah breath in, the book lifts and start da. And the book gently lowers as the abdominal wall lowers and the diaphragm lifts again, expelling the air. Okay? The tip of the tongue is touching the roof of the mouth, and the sound comes right on out the body again, and and breathe, lifting the book, and and breathe, and breathe. Now, if you're only breathing into the chest and you feel that chest being pulled up and the lungs are expanding upward, remember that you're not lowering the diaphragm and you're not getting the full benefit of the breathing process. So this is a real helpful exercise for getting you started. And breathe a little faster now. And breathe. And breathe. And breathe. Real good, Courtney. And and breathe. And breathe. And breathe. And breathe. And breathe. And breathe. So what we're doing, thank you very much. You can get up off the floor now. What we're doing is we're setting ourselves, we're putting ourselves in the correct position to then start developing the muscular structure of the voice. We want to get the form right first. If you've done any exercises with weights, it's not how much weight you lift, it's the manner in which you lift them. And if you lift them in the correct manner, you're going to get the full benefit of having lifted that weight, even if it's 10 pounds. Then you can gradually increase the amount of tension, the amount of weight on your body, but you've got to make sure that you're in the correct position. So by taking that deep breath in and going duh, and connecting the relationship between the breathing and the singing, you're starting to get the right form. All right? Let's